perfect.
Welcome back to JR Pro Shop Vids. We have an exciting review of the brand new TNT Infused from Roto Grip. My cousin Jungo is back from Kuwait. Oh my gosh, the world champion. Today he's gonna try out this new symmetric hybrid, and luckily enough, he has two of them today. The difference between the two of them is the layout. It's the pin to PAP distance, and Jungo will explain more out on the lanes. Today, for comparison, he'll be throwing the brand new clone from Roto Grip, really strong, polished ASIM solid. We're gonna see when these bowling balls will react the best and how they react against each other with the different layouts. Nothing here. Enjoy the bowling, enjoy the strikes, and let's go to Jungo.
All right, Jungo is back. We got the brand new TNT Infused. Little special review today. I got two TNTs with two totally different layouts. One has my normal layout, which is a 5 1/4 inch pin to PAP, and the other one is 2.5 inches pin to PAP. So if you're not sure what that means, the PAP is your positive access point where your ball rotates off your hand, and the pin is the distance from that. The maximum amount of hook is 3 3/8. So one of my balls has 5 1/4, which is pretty long and snappy, and the other one is 2.5, which would be really early, smooth, and controllable. So let's see what the pin distance does for reaction here on the lanes. All right, so this is my normal layout. Pin above the bridge, 5 1/4 inch pin to PAP, and this ball is just gonna look like normal. It's gonna go down the lane pretty far, and it's gonna make a pretty good left turn. I hooked a lot more than I thought it would. Let's move a little left. All right, I moved 6 boards left with my feet there. A little light. Let's bump back 2, get lined up to the pocket, then we'll throw the other TNT. All right, perfect. I can already tell this ball is gonna be pretty good when the front of the lane gets a little bit dry. I needed a ball to get through the front of the lane and still have a really nice corner down lane. So obviously a really good complement to the original TNT. Not even gonna throw it because we already know. All right, this is the 2.5 inch pin to PAP. So this ball is gonna start up a little earlier, not have as much shape down lane. It's gonna be really smooth. All right, as you can see there, it did hook back to the pocket, but it was pretty flat hitting the pins compared to the 5 1/4 inch pin to PAP ball. So a little bit of a reaction difference down lane for sure. I think we'll see more of a difference as we keep moving to the left. All right, 2 boards to the left. This is the short pin. A little bit light there. Still made it back to the pocket. So the short pin ball is hooking a little more than expected. The tall pin ball, this ball is really gonna corner. 5 1/4 inch ball, same line. Okay, same line with the 2.5 inch pin ball. The shorter pin ball, the 2.5 inch pin, it's a little closer to maximum. So I can see on the ball, the flare lines are further apart on this one. So it's revving up sooner and it's continuing through the pins a little more, where the flare lines on the 5 1/4 inch ball are really tight together. So it's saving its energy and using it all at once. So you see a more of a defined hook shape with the taller pin one, but I think you get a little more overall hook and a little more continuation from the shorter pin ball. All right, taller pin, same line. Yeah, you can really see that it gets out to the spot and it really hooks all at once and then it goes straight again. These kind of balls are really good for playing a little further left, right? Where you kind of have a defined hook spot to the right and you can kind of feed it there and have it hook back and roll forward through the pins. Where something like a shorter pin ball is good for like shorter patterns when the break point's further to the gutter and you really need that ball to cover boards. All right, just for comparison purposes, we'll throw the clone on the same line I just boned an 8. Right, so same line of balls, Roto Grip, but that one's asymmetric and also polished. And you can just see how much earlier it gets into a roll. The clone is a little better for playing a little further right and a little more oil. Obviously a little fresher conditions. The clone will look a lot better than the TNT here, but we got a few games bowled. We did the Magic Gem review on this lane just before this. The TNTs look really good right now. All right, question time with Jungo, halfway through the vid. As you can see, 2 totally different layouts on these TNTs, and the reaction difference was pretty small, pretty minute. For me, most of my stuff has the same layout, and I keep the pin in the same spot on most of my balls. What do you do at home? Do you like to have the same layout across your arsenal, or do you consult your pro shop for individual layouts for individual balls? Let me know down in the comments below. All right, let's just throw these TNTs a couple more times. Let's move further to the right, and we'll also move our break point out further to the right. All right, you can see that, that's the shorter pin ball. It just started hooking in the mid lane and it was really continuous, left the 4 pin. Let's throw the taller pin ball from there, see the difference. Yeah, you can see that wasn't as continuous. I carried the 4 pin right there, and I think I missed a little left. So I think a little bit taller pin, the hook shape is more defined, and it's gonna hook a little less overall. So remember, if you want to max out the pin position, 3 3/8. Pin to PAP, 3 3/8. All right, we moved a little right. Now let's move a little left. Ooh, that was a pretty good shot with a short pin ball. Just a little too far left, I think. All right, tall pin ball. All right, so as you can see from a little further inside, the taller pin ball has more of a sharper hook, so it was able to, get back to the pocket and carry that light hit, where the shorter pin ball was kind of round and slow and kind of left the 2 pin there. So depending where you want on the play on the lane, I would lay out your balls accordingly. All right, we just got done bowling. If you don't want to listen to Jung talk, skip ahead to the end of the video. We got rapid fire. You can see these balls back to back, and you can really tell the reaction difference when they're going right after one another. All right, time for the conclusion. We tested out 2 different layouts on this TNT Infused, and as you can tell, the layout has a minimal effect. You can tell there's a little bit of a difference the way the ball rolls through the pins and how it hooks, but overall, boards covered pretty close. I've always wanted to try 2 different pin distances on the same exact ball and just see the difference in ball motion, because I always want to try something new. With all these new patterns they're coming out with, they're getting shorter, they're getting longer. I just want to know what kind of different ball reactions I can make with different pin locations, different layouts on different kind of bowling balls. So in conclusion, the ball with the shorter pin, which is a little closer to maximum than the longer pin ball, it's definitely more continuous in the back end. The hook phase is a little longer and it drives through the pins a little bit more, where the taller pin ball kind of uses up all its energy in one hook stop motion and definitely rolls a little more forward going through the pins. If you really are a good bowler and you want to fine tune your ball reaction, you can really do that just by moving the pin around how far it is from your PAP. So as I said in my question, I like to keep very similar layouts on most of my bowling balls, aside from a couple trick pieces that I might take to a really short or a really long pattern. It just keeps that consistency throughout my bag, and I eliminate a few variables and just change balls when I need to, rather than changing balls and layouts when I need to make an adjustment. I threw the clone 1 time. I also threw the clone a little bit earlier in warm up, and you can just tell it's a little tumblier. It gets into a roll that much sooner. It's just a very strong ball, much stronger ball overall. It's gonna handle a lot more oil, and these are the kind of balls that you wanna be using on the condition I was bowling on. A little bit of a breakdown, a little bit of hook to the right. We got some fronts that have been gone because I did the ball review for the Magic Gem just before this, so some of the oil was already used up, and that's why these balls look really good. All right, that's enough of Jung talking. Don't forget my question down below. Do you like to keep the same layouts on everything? Do you let your pro shop guy handle it? What do you do with your layouts? Also, if you want to get some new JR Pro Shop merch, head to jrproshop.threadless.com. We got a ton of stuff there: sweaters, t-shirts, zip ups, anything you can think of, we got it. All right, see you in the next vid.